They about to look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topic? Crew looking like pentatonics, locked in, recording in tropics. And the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, we lit, never thought about it. Cause they about to look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topics? In a way back, all black, I'm talking, feeling like Shaq, I weigh my options. And the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, it's saucy all the projects, it's saucy.
What is up? What is up? What is up? RCR Presents MSD Sports, episode number 19, everybody, and we back. My name is Sam, also known as Wnba, and we got Mikey, and we got Camden, and let's get it, Mikey, introduce yourself, Mikey, introduce yourself.
Episode 19, it's your boy, Michael John, coming to you from the 02135, Wnba in town. It's cold, it's windy, and the snow is coming, but I'm ready for a beautiful episode with my guys. Let's get it, yo.
Yes, sir, Camden, what is up?
What's going on? You know what it is. It's your boy, Camden Lee, a.k.a. Mr. Club Paradise. I'm back with the greatest trio ever assembled, MSD Sports, episode 19. Can you guys believe it? We're creeping up day by day, minute by minute. It's not too bad out there. It's a little chilly, but you know what I'm saying. I'm in LA, so, you know, I get to wake up to a little sunshine here and there. But, guys, do we have a big episode tonight? I know we coming back with another one pretty quick this week, but, YBK, talk to me. What's poppin'?
Yes, sir. The big three. Oh, not today. It's going to be a little bit of a special day here, guys. The big three ain't here today. We going to talk about these four sports, guys. We going to talk about the NHL, the Four Nations Tournament. Some spicy news. You know, it's a halfway point or something. It's like, you know, we're in a little break here. We going to talk about some tennis. We're going to talk about some WNBA, switch it up, and we're going to wrap it up with some UFC. You know, we familiar with some UFC here in the MSD universe here. But yes, let's go. Let's get it, David. What we going to talk about? Some NHL.
Listen, guys, you know what I mean? I've been hearing from you peoples. I've been wondering, you know, what's going on? I know, listen, I've been wondering about the NHL. I've been wondering about some other sports. And today we're bringing it right back to you. I mean, we have this Four Nations tournament, guys. And to be honest, it's one of the few times in the world that I wish I was back in Boston in the frigid cold. Tomorrow night, we have the final game, Canada versus the United States, a rematch from a couple nights ago. I mean, guys, I just want to talk to you a little bit about this Four Nations tournament. It started a couple days ago, about on the 15th, and it's been one of these things where it's been a freaking blast. We've had fisticuffs. You know, your boy loves that. You know what I'm saying? We're not about popping in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Well, handling our business like men. And when I tell you the NHL boys have been fisticuffing like nobody's business, bringing the ratings back, I love it. Finland beat Sweden 4-3 in overtime on the 15th, on February 15th. And the United States beat Canada 3-1. So when I say tomorrow's rematch is something where Canada's looking like we need something, it is a huge match, you know, and even earlier this week, you know what I'm saying? It's been a little bit tough. It's been a little bit difficult. The United States is coming off of a loss. We did lose 2-1 to Sweden, but that's okay because we scored a lot of goals and we made it happen. And the only reason why Canada's behind is back in the final with us is because they won 5-3. And in this match, it's one of those things, YBK, I'm not sure if you understand what's happening, but the goals kind of matter in this thing. I mean, guys, how do we feel? You know what I mean? United States versus Canada. It's kind of the battle of the greatest men on ice. Are we hockey people, YBK? Are you an ice skating guy? You know what I mean? I know you from New York. So, you know what I'm saying? I know you're familiar with the code. So I'm just wondering what's up?
I mean, in terms of hockey, I've never watched hockey, never watched a game in my life. Maybe worked a couple shifts at the at some college, you know, for some their athletics. But other than that, I don't really know much about hockey. But I know that if it's USA versus Canada in any sport, almost it kind of rings like a bell. Like, okay, you know, it's gonna be pretty cool. You know, always that matchup is pretty cool, I think, in my opinion.
I'll give you a quick breakdown, Sam, like, because it's kind of like World Cup, like group play.
Oh, okay.
You know how in the World Cup you start in like a group
stage,
and
yeah.
like it's just the the rankings have to do with points. Oh, you get 3 points for a win, you get 2 points for an overtime win, or you get 1 point for an overtime loss. But you get 0 points if you lose in regulation. So, and this tournament is what you call like round robin. You play every team once because it's 4 teams. So after you play each team, then you decide who moves on. So USA had already punched their ticket since they won their first 2 games. So that third game against
so
Sweden,
that
you're right,
Sweden
it's not
was-
good, David, that they lost, but at least they had already punched their ticket. So maybe like you took your foot off the gas a little bit. Who knows? I will say this. I'll provide this as an overarching, statement to move into it. After we seen like Pro Bowl and like All-Star game recently, I feel like the conversation about competitiveness in like exhibition format, you see it with hockey. It's no doubt about it. And I think it begs the question about like, is it just different natures of the games? Because David said it. Canada and USA, Sam, they started their game 3 fights within 9 seconds of the game.
wow.
Fist fights, bro. Drop the glove, fist fight.
They
bro.
allow that,
I'm trying
right?
to punch you, knock you out, bro, make you bleed.
So
And it's exhibition, bro.
wow.
So it's like,
wow.
I think it's one of those things where, Michael, you know what I mean, like, it's important, I feel like, to let the people know and to let each other know that I still got you, especially when we're all getting paid millions and millions of dollars. I think in hockey, I think it's one of those sports that is still untouched in terms of purity. I think guys still really go out and bleed, lose teeth, fisticuffs. You know what I mean? Are throwing up on the ice. They do some of the wildest things, and they're 6'2", 5'10", 6'10" guys running or on the ice, moving at the speed of lightning. So I think it's one of those things where if they don't have that aggression and they're not like, okay, this is how we take the game seriously, I don't think it motivates them to be excellent. And I think it really shows that there's a disconnect in how, pure we look at one sport, or how, people look at or play in one sport compared to the rest of them. I mean, YBK, would you like to see, LeBron and Durant go into fisticuffs if there was an actual scuffle? Or
Hey.
guys go one-on-one? I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying fights.
Oh,
what I
yes,
mean?
sir. I have a question with the fight thing. All right. I've always wondered. You know how they allow the fist, so they drop the glove, they take off the mask, right? So how long is that for? Until he gets knocked, or is there like a time limit?
Reasonable distinction. Like the referee can break it up when they think that the fight has reached like there's no more movement, or if someone wins, because like dudes in the NFL get dropped. I'm sorry, in the NHL get dropped in the fights. You get rocked, bro, and you're dizzy, or you get knocked out. Some dudes get knocked out, or you start bleeding. When you see blood, it's done. Right? If someone like throws the other dude down to the ground, they usually break it up as well.
It's more like boxing type rule.
Yep.
Exactly. It is. It's straight hands, bro. Like grab the jersey. It's like hockey fight. They grab the jersey, and it's like if you've never gotten in a hockey fight, bro, or like played field hockey. Like I didn't play ice hockey growing up, but the homies did. And they had all the pads at the crib, and like we'll put on like no rollerblades or nothing, just like field hockey. We're playing field hockey, and you put on the gloves, you have the sticks, and
you got the whole gear.
If you try to bang it out when you're holding someone's jersey, bro, it's like it's a special sort of fight, bro. It's in the pocket, like you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. It's like
fighting in the phone book, baby, fighting in the phone book.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And so I think it's one of those things where the refs understand, like, listen, like if a dude's taking a couple whacks to the joint, and they know, like, kind of like in real life, like if you out at a party with your homies, and you know what I mean, your man, slaps a dude a couple times and he's knocked on the ground, you might pick your man's up, be like, bro, dog, don't be beating him down no more, or you know what I mean, or vice versa. So I think it's one of those things where I really like seeing it, especially as a fan, because I'm like, yo, like, number one, y'all take this dead ass seriously, because y'all beating each other. And two, y'all really putting up points. It's not like one of these 1-0s. It's not one of these, 2-0s. Like, they're really trying to score, and they're really trying to make name for themselves. One question I do have for you, Mikey, it's going to be at the TD Bank Garden, okay?
Boston.
back at home. One of the few times I went back in the
Crazy.
ring. What are we looking at for these tickets though? Tickets is like 800 $800.
Yeah.
Hey, what do we think? I
It's
mean, do we
higher than
feel
that
like
now, bro. It's higher than
Is it
that. It's a
usually that
thousand
much in the finals? Usually, like every year, that expensive?
for NHL Stanley Cup Finals for sure, but like
Mhm.
for this sort of game, I feel like it's unprecedented because it's the first four nations tournament.
Oh, it's the
Right.
first
So it's
ever?
yeah, they haven't
Oh.
done this sort of tournament before because this is all exclusively NHL players to keep in mind. So for example, how in the Olympics like basketball players are from different like Europe League.
Yep, yep.
This is exclusively NHL players, bro.
Wow. So it's
So
like
it's
an
all
all-star. It's
NHL
like
players.
it's like almost
Yeah, basically, but all stars for the country.
for the country.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
Mhm.
it's kind of cool. Over $1,000 for the cheapest ticket and upwards of
Wow.
7 racks, bro.
7
So
rack.
yes,
Oh.
it shows you though actually that I feel like competition in the sense of like pride in the game and pride for your country, right, is important because Canada is hockey, right? Is you associate with
God in
Russia or
hockey.
Canada,
That's what I'm
right?
saying. It's God in hockey
Right?
with those
And
guys.
it's big because USA is taking on Canada in Boston in the final of the first four nations.
Wow.
So it's huge. It's a big deal, actually. And honestly, I wish I knew sooner because maybe I would have saved up a couple extra dollars. Like at this point, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. The money that I pay that's close to that price for tickets is going to a Celtics playoff game this year.
Ooh.
That's
Put
just the
that
truth.
put the money on the floor. He gonna do it.
That's just the truth. But
Put a little live
I'm
on
gonna
the
stay tuned for this one. That's for sure.
Nah, this is legit crazy. Like I feel like we were talking about this in an earlier episode in terms of the NBA doing the format of this, maybe the world versus the NBA stars and USA and having
Yeah.
like just NBA players doing that. And I think having this type of situation, this type of game, really brings a kind of like that, just that extra pizzazz. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I know Sam. You know what I mean? He's coming in to the fold in terms of the NHL. But being a Northeastern boy, we already know me and Mikey. We was watching the Bruins. You know what I'm saying? Do their thing for a minute now. So winning chips. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I'm really excited. Again, it's gonna be tomorrow night, 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, February 20th.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's get it.
We got some other news going down. What else we got popping these days?
What's popping?
I heard there's some things going down in the
Yes.
situation.
I was trying to ask y'all if you about to say about the tennis story we was talking about earlier.
I didn't hear a lot about it, but
Yeah,
I heard some people doing some
Talk to us.
fugazi. What is
All right.
talk to me? I heard some fugazi.
I want to ask you guys. This
Okay.
is I'll tell you the brief synopsis about this right
All right.
now, right? So the number one player, number one ranked in the world, right? Because there's no more Roger Federers and there's no more Rafael
Djokovic.
Nadal's like when
Oh.
we was younger, right?
Oh.
There's a lot of these younger Alcaraz, Zverev, right? Jannik Sinner, Italian tennis player, he recently was like embroiled in some controversy because this dude tested positive for some PEDs, right?
Some steroids.
So it's called clostebol. I don't know exactly what the hell it is. I just know when you got those balls, anabolics, like no good, right? And so this is the caused a huge stir in the tennis community, and I feel like it's an interesting conversation just about PEDs in general, right? So he tested positive, was initially being looking at like a 9 to 12 month suspension.
Okay.
And then the World Anti-Doping Agency, who people will call WADA, like WADA said, you know what? We came to an agreement, a settlement. He gonna have a 3-month ban because it was negligence on his part. He didn't know he had this came in contact with this substance, with this band, with this steroid. Listen, this is what they're saying happened. They're saying that like a masseuse massaged it into him, and that's how he got it. So I don't know. This is some craziness. Like, what are your initial thoughts? Like with this craziness right here.
Well, first off, I thought it was going to be food. I thought it was going to be something was slipped into his food and he has his personal trainer, and he didn't really know about that. That makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that makes a lot of sense. One, I'm gonna address the settlement part in a second, but I'm gonna address the second part. Two, with the substance part. Two, the massage cream just seems a little fishy to me. Because I feel like when the massage therapists be at a certain spot, they be asking you, oh, do you want da 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 da? Or would you like just a regular cream? Would you like me to massage here? Can I touch here? Can I do this? They're very like, I'm letting you know what I'm putting on you. And if he's been going to the same massage therapist for a minute to a point where his skin and body was absorbing it to enough where he was getting tested positive, like CBD type joint, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like this isn't a real accident. So those are the first two notes that I kind of have, just throwing that out there. The second thing, Mikey, YBK, a settlement?
That's
A settlement? Not a. Oh, we came to finish an investigation. A settlement? I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it on the floor right there. Somebody pick it up. What's up?
So they didn't come
YBK.
to a conclusion?
Settlement?
So we don't know if they did come to a conclusion.
well, they did come to a conclusion. The conclusion is that he agreed to a 3-month ban only, right? So a 3-month ban from starting from when he accepted it, Sam, conveniently allows him to play the next major championship
Coming
because
up.
There's the Grand Slam, the next Grand Slam in May, the French Open. He could play. So it seems a little bit. It seems a little bit.
It's very fishy. It's very fishy over here.
RBK, you understand what he means by settlement?
Yes.
Okay, so there was some cash money that was dropped on the floor. There's a package we got left on the way. I'm gonna leave some on the way out for you, just because on the table real quick, just because.
How good is Jannik Sinner?
He's the number one ranked.
What do they say about this guy?
Number one, Sam. He's coming off winning the Australian Open. He's the number one tennis player ranked in the world right now. Like this is huge, right?
This is Joker. Imagine Joker testing positive for.
Yeah, to me, I think I want to throw back to what you said, David, about if you're eating some food contaminated, right? In UFC, we see this a lot, where someone will, like the trainer or someone in their program gives them a supplement that has a banned substance in it, because some of those supplements be putting like things that you ain't supposed to have, HGH or something that will pop you for something. So what do you think that even if you were negligent, right, you should still be held accountable for your negligence?
See,
right? Can't we agree that even if you were negligent, like let's just say hypothetically he really didn't know, you still have to serve the time, right? Even if you didn't know, you made a mistake, your team made a mistake, you can't have a 3-month. It's like, does that seem that to me that sounds like if you were at fault for negligence for ingesting steroids, 3 months does not fit the description for me. You got to be out a year. You're out a year. You missed one cycle of tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hard because the tennis community needs someone or something special with Federer and Djokovic kind of leaving over the last couple years or this last year, and so they need someone that they can kind of gravitate towards. So this is kind of the YBK. This is like their face of the league type joint testing positive. Do I agree, Mikey, with your thought process that people need to be punished for what happens and what they do? Yes. Do I agree with 12 months though? No. I think maybe 6. I think allowing him the chance, he just won this, denying him a chance to win another to make a Grand Slam case or complete another leg for a Grand Slam. And I don't know YBK, if you win these opens, you know what I mean, you complete, kind of like in golf, where if you do this, win the French, you do the US, you do another
Wimbledon.
you kind of
U.S.
you
Open.
only a very few people have been able to do it. So
Right.
giving this kid the chance to do it, I think that's what the tennis community is doing.
Yeah.
I do disagree though that 3 months is enough. I feel like that's 6 months. 6 months is enough. It's enough for you to learn your lesson. 12 months if it was you actually did it on purpose, or like you got caught with like a needle in your booty, as you know what I'm saying, some of them like to say. But I think 6 months for negligence. 3 months is kind of like, and for it to land right before, so he's still able to play. I'll be like, bro, don't play this one. Sit this one out.
Yeah.
Come back next.
Carlos Alcaraz, another like young bull who's won some major tournaments in these last few years. He said, "This is his quote: The truth is, there's little to say. Whether he's there or not doesn't influence us. We remain focused on us and our goals." You think that that's the right way to look at it as a competitor? Because like for me, I see why he wants to kind of not take a side on it, because it's better to just be focused on the tournament. Like I kind of see why you might just like say whatever, who cares who I'm going against? I'm just trying to win. Don't matter who I'm going against.
It's that
Well,
mentality. I feel like he's trying to show to the fans. I feel like here, instead of like, siding, he has no time for that kind of vibe I'm feeling. And he's just,
Yeah.
I just want to win mentality right now. Don't let this waste my time, and his name involved with it too in this.
Yeah.
I feel like.
yeah. It also brings a question to, just in case if something happens to me, where I'm not over, punished in a situation.
True.
Because at the end of the day, guys, my MSD crew, I love you guys. You guys are my family. All these suckers be doping. All these suckers be doing stuff. Very few actually don't. A lot of them get away with it. The stupid ones, when they know that the testing time comes, they don't. I think this is one of those things. He's a young dude. He doesn't understand the cycle of, hey, this is when we do our things, this is when we stop. Similar to the NFL when it comes to smoking dope. We know around 420, yeah, I gotta cut that out, because your boy gonna have to get tested pretty soon, and I gotta piss clean. So I think it's just one of those things where he deserves a longer punishment, and I think with the number two is kind of like, listen, I can't show weakness and be like, oh yeah, this dude da 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 da, and I'm gonna save my behind just in case if something happens to me.
Yeah.
I
don't know. It seems weird to me. If the agency deems that he wasn't at fault, he's not at fault. He shouldn't have even 3 months. It's like, to me, you either get the full punishment, or no punishment. That's the weird in between. I just think it's like we said, it's convenient that they let him play in the next Grand Slam. So I guess time will tell. Maybe we're gonna have to revisit and see how these next tournaments go, because it will be interesting to see how he performs now, especially with the cloud of controversy around it.
A lot
That's
of
what I'm
controversy.
saying. Pay a couple of dollars, you could get away with a lot of stuff in America.
Yeah, I love it.
Dollar.
Speaking of dollars, guys, a little segment we wanted to talk about
Ooh.
is future stars and superstars. And with that segment, I wanted to bring in our a little different vibe, a sport called the WNBA.
Oh.
Now, I know a couple of you guys, and I know, a couple months ago, or, earlier this past summer, we've heard names like Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean? We've heard people like Asia Wilson. We've heard people like Angel Reese. And, when I'm thinking about the WNBA this year, it's coming up pretty soon. I'm really feeling a little bit of a tingle this year. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of off-season news. Asia Wilson just got a new shoe when it comes to the Nike deal, and she's the first woman ever to have her own signature shoe line, which I think is amazing. You know what I mean? We got to empower our women, and I think for it to be this long for a woman to get a signature shoe after, so many different women who have paved the way for the WNBA, it's a travesty. But that's okay. We could talk about that later. But guys, one person that I really feel like I was looking at, crossing these shorties up, hearing in the media, people talking about, oh, is she nasty coming out of college? Caitlin Clark, guys.
Oh.
Have you heard about her? Do you know who she is? Do you know what's up?
What's up?
Well, she single-handedly is making a huge impact on the game of basketball. That's for sure. I mean, probably the biggest women's basketball player I've seen in my lifetime, in the sense of like social media popularity, the commercials, the success on the court in college, the success on the court even in her rookie year. I mean, yes, like, well, I'm on the Caitlin Clark bandwagon for sure.
YBK, have you heard of Caitlin Clark? I know, you know what I mean. It's tough. They play on odd hours, and I know you're a church going man, so you got stuff midweeks, things like that. So, but talk to me.
I just see her on like what Mikey said, like advertisements, and I'm like, oh, okay, like I kind of like the growth now of like the WNBA coming into these advertisements now, owning like their own advertisements from Nike. It's not like, oh, with like a male athlete now. It's like they're all by themselves and representing themselves. But in terms of like WNBA, I don't really know. I don't know what school she went to, what team she's playing for. So yeah, I don't know. You gotta fill
Well,
me in.
well, listen, she was playing in Iowa. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
She got her team to a national championship. They did lose
Oh, they
because
lost.
they
Okay.
did lose. There was a one-man show. You know what I'm saying? It was a
Caitlin
very
Clark.
Caitlin Clark, she was taking the NCAA by storm,
Oh,
just going crazy,
okay.
going for 30 one night, triple doubles another night,
Oh,
dropping 40 another night. When I tell you she had this step back three going crazy in college, still in the WNBA, she still got that step back three. But when I tell you, when I was seeing the Caitlin Clark highlights, I said, "Oh, this girl been playing. I like that." So she got game. The thing is, you know what I mean, Sam, is that these women aren't getting paid a lot of bread these days. And yes, you can see a lot of them in some of the commercials. You see them getting their own shoes. But with Clark kind of bringing up a new regime in terms of, hey, eyes to the league, I pose a question for you guys. Do you feel that, if someone is bringing, equity into a company, such as Caitlin Clark as an employee, such as she, do you feel as though they should get, maybe some, in a little bit of points in the NBA? Should the NBA be able to give her a little bit of extra dollars because she's doing a little bit of extra stuff in terms of getting eyes on her? I know that salary is a thing, but is there a way that you feel like she should be rewarded for her endeavors, or do you feel like over time, the team will take care of her and everything like that? YBK, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm an employee and I'm making it, I'm putting y'all on the map. Do you feel like I should get a little bonus?
I don't
Little,
know, because basically these WNBA teams are owned by those NBA teams, right? So,
somewhat, yes.
Not all of them, but
oh,
the
it's not all of
NBA
them.
owns a large stake of the WNBA.
So I'm looking at these contracts right now, guys, and I mean, man, oh man, guys, these contracts are just so bad, guys. These
Tell them.
women are not getting paid. I'm seeing the highest valued contract is only $725,000, guys. And
A lot of money.
this woman right here, oh, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name right here, Avrike Boale
Wnba Wale.
from the Dallas Wings. She's a
Yep.
guard, 27 years old. She's getting paid only 249,000, guys, and she's the highest paid in value of contract. And Stephen Curry's getting, oh, well, legendary Stephen Curry. I love Steph, but I mean that man's getting paid almost to close to 60 million, I think, a year just for contract, not even endorsement. So I feel like, yeah, these women deserve much more, and especially the emergence of the WNBA now on how big it is now on social media, on advertisements, on television. I feel like these women deserve more money in terms of their actual playing contract, not their endorsements or advertisements.
Mikey,
Fair.
how we feel? How we feel?
It's hard because I want to say I understand where you're coming from, YBK, in the sense of like the fact that this generation of players is kind of doing the landscaping of like, imagine Jet 20 years ago what the players think about how popular it is now, because I think there's a big paradigm shift in the WNBA. It's becoming cool. It's
Yeah.
becoming popular. If you look at the average ticket sales at a Caitlin Clark game, it's by far more than anything else because she has star power. It's like a LeBron James game or a Steph Curry game. In general, the WNBA is getting more competitive because girls is nasty at ball and they're getting better and they're getting recognized for being good athletes as well. But we do need to just like take a step back. Like, let's extrapolate the data, right? The NBA generated $11.34 billion in the 2023 to 2024 season, right?
Well,
So
no.
11,340 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
11
The
billion.
WNBA generated an estimated 200 million.
Oh,
Okay. So that's about double what they were doing 5 years prior,
Yeah.
which is
100%.
great. But 5 years prior, the league was at about losing 10 million a year.
Mm.
The WNBA was on average losing 10 million a year per Adam Silver. And that's 2018. So in 2024, the WNBA is expected to lose approximately and as much as 40 to 50 million.
oh wow.
Businesses lose money when they're going to success. Like, you join a new hotel, you build a new hotel. You don't necessarily think that the financial solvency and like the peak of financial gain that you'll get is within the first few years. I know WNBA has been around a long time, but it's still in the nascent stages. So I feel like I'm at a crossroads because I do want people to get paid more, and like people will say like we want an equal revenue split and revenue share, and it's like, well, the league is losing money, so it's like you're not going to tell someone to pay money to the WNBA so that you have the opportunity to get a Nike deal or a Reebok deal or a Puma deal or a commercial, because there is a lot more. It ain't just Caitlin Clark. You got the Brittany Griners, who went through her ordeal, but is a beast on the court. Brianna Stewart, the Ogumbawale, Ogumake, Aja Wilson, hella people, Angel Reese, all of these people. Ionescu, who did the shoot-off versus Steph last year. Remember? And not this year, but previous year.
Yes.
Sabrina Ionescu.
Yep.
with the
Sabrina
three-point shootout
versus Steph.
Exactly. So think about it. Like, there's a lot of great players. I don't want to sound like, I don't want them to get their due, but they need to figure out how to generate more income as a whole.
Yeah.
But they signed a huge contract to get on TV.
Yeah.
And the way that you make more money is you fill stadiums, you sell concessions, you sell tickets, you sell merchandise, you sell trading cards associated with your likeness, you sell appearances in TV shows. So that's my overall rant for y'all regarding, I want them to get paid, but like there's Caitlin Clark was the #1 overall pick, Sam, and her salary is $74,000 a year.
Yeah,
Like,
$74,000.
I think we make more than that, to be honest. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Combined, we definitely do. Combined, we 100% do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, it's tough, bro. Where's the money gonna come from?
Hopefully,
right?
her shoe endorsement gives her like $2 million or something. You know what I'm saying?
Her Nike contract is 8 years and $28 million. Reported.
Let's get it. Yeah, get that money.
Get something. And I think the thing is, there are other stars that are coming up in college right now. The Jujus, you know what I mean? She's at USC. We got Paige Carruthers at UConn. We got Floja. She's at LSU. Yep. I mean, we got bigger names that are coming that are doing some great things. You know what I mean? We even had Sha'Carri Jackson, who just, did a campaign with Beats by Dre, which was phenomenal. You know what I mean? So we got these women that are blowing up and are doing great things in the commercial space. And I kind of understand what you're saying, Mikey, in terms of paying them is going to be difficult when you're losing money. But, I'm hoping that in the next, 5 to 10 years, the WNBA really can start generating a little bit more income so that a lot of these women, like the Caitlin Clarks, were making, again, $74,000 a year, to play basketball while she's doing amazing things right now, where they can kind of come up and they can make maybe 100,000, maybe 150 or 200 when they're coming out of college. Because,
or like a signing bonus, like basketball and football. Football makes like $17 million if you're a first pick. You get a whole bonus.
But they make it bread though.
She made a lot of money off like NIL because now you can use your name and
image.
Oh, right.
So
what's the incentive if you're hot to go even professional? Or the season is also 40 games, right? Like, is there a way to increase the season and enhance the competitiveness to bring in to generate more money? Because the NBA season is 82 games and there's 7-game playoff series, right? So it's like, it's 11.3 over 11 billion, but there's a lot more that goes into it, right? And a lot more play. I will say too, it's different. The games are different. You got to appreciate like the differences in the game because maybe you don't have someone flying around, dunking, right, through the legs, behind the back, shooting threes that far out. But you just have to learn how to appreciate the games for what it is. And I think like as the game grows and as the players get better, we're starting to see that more and appreciate it for what it is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I want to shout out Angel Reese because she was in my Reese's cereal box. I was like, honestly, she's set for life with his Reese's, bro. Because your last name is amazing. Shout out Angel Reese. Let's get it.
She was a beast, bro, last year. She was second in Rookie of the Year for sure, close to it.
Nice.
I think she led the league in rebounds. She also averaged a double-double.
Rebounds? What?
Yeah,
What is she, a power
rookie,
forward or center? What is she?
I think power forward. I think she had 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she had 4, but
Dang.
Telling you.
she's got appeal too, because like that's like the beauty of like the NBA now is or WNBA and like just in our modern era, we're encouraged to be like who we are. Like you could be a little fruity, you could be goofy, you could be masculine, you could be feminine, you could be androgynous. It doesn't matter no more, and I like that because we gotta let people be who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like I love it, and I would love to support, further support. Actually, my homie, shout out to my homie Lewis. That's my good homie. He is a huge proponent of women's sports.
Oh.
Really?
And he has his own platform. His was popping for a hot minute. He does color commentating for Boston College for a lot of the women's sports there. Hockey. He'd be doing soccer. He had me in the booth before, so shout out to my homie Lewis. We'll talk to him about getting him on.
Let's go.
We might have to bring him in for a guest spot to talk about women's sports because if I know someone who's been a huge proponent of women's sports, it's my homie Lewis. So shout out to you, Louis.
Yeah, we are so down for that, Mikey. Let's get it.
Maybe get one of them WNBA stars to come on the podcast, guys.
We need Angel Reese. We need Angel Reese.
I mean, listen, we're gonna try. We're gonna try and do what we can. We're gonna try to do what we can. Moving from women's sports to a little something different. Mikey, I heard there was some rumblings. happening. I heard there was some rumblings in the jungle. What's popping these days? What's popping?
All right, well, we're gonna have to keep bringing this into the fold because this is if Sam is GM Sam, we're gonna have to think of a name for your boy.
Yes,
It's the Octagon time now.
I like that.
We're gonna talk about
Octagon time.
Michael John's Octagon.
Michael John's Octagon.
Well, we had a pay-per-view a couple weeks back. We had an interesting night. It was pretty good. It wasn't like my favorite pay-per-view, but I'll highlight that the middleweight title was on the line. It was a rematch for the defending champion, Dricus du Plessis, who is the South African champion right now, currently, at the 185-pound division. Rematch versus the American Sean Strickland.
Oh!
Strickland be putting himself in the news a lot because he be saying crazy... He's one of them that's he likes to get on social media and talk crazy a little bit. I'm not really sure. He's not like one of them super conservative, but he also don't like sensitive. He ain't sensitive, you know what I mean? Like one of them left leaning, super sensitive, PC. So it was a good fight in the sense of Dricus put on a show for us because the last time these dudes fought, it went to a split decision. It was a split decision, and Dricus outpointed him. This fight, Dricus went crazy, right? He won all 5 rounds. It was it was like a wash, 50 to 45, scoring at the end. Highlighted by him breaking Strickland's nose in the 3rd round. But it's pretty bad. He broke his nose. You could see it. Strickland's bugging out a little bit, trying to reset his nose mid-fight. Yeah. It was bad, so
Gotta watch it right now.
sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you on. Dricus, bro, is on a hot streak. So, Sam, I know you're a huge Adesanya fan.
Yes, I am.
Dricus on his run right now has beaten. He's not lost in the UFC, but he's beaten big names: Darren Till, Robert Whittaker, Derek Brunson. Most recently, before he fought Strickland, he defended the title with a rear naked choke on Adesanya, bro.
Wow,
So this boy, he's gonna fight. the upcoming Hamzat Chimaev next, and Hamzat Chimaev is a beast, bro. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Ooh,
So I know you're gonna have to circle this when Dricus fights next. Y'all gotta tune in because this guy
definitely.
is awkward as hell. Like some fighters, like Izzy, are technically sound, good strikers. This boy Dricus is like a bull in a china shop, but he wins. He know how to win.
Really?
Yeah. He know how to win. He's awkward as hell. You watch him fight, you gonna laugh, but he win. He be winning.
I
So
mean, that's it. That's all we need.
yeah. Another great fight that night was there was another title fight. It was women's strawweight champion Zhang Wei Li, and she put on a
Oh,
performance. Somehow this girl came in as the underdog, and I'm
Mm.
like, yo, smash $100 on her, no problem. Like that's easy money, plus money on defending Wei Li. She was coming in against an undefeated Tatiana Suarez, who's a
Mm.
great fighter with a great story. Suarez had missed about like 3 years of fighting because she had thyroid cancer, and she successfully
oh,
beat it. She came
wow.
back. She's an amazing wrestler,
I
but
know.
Zhang Wei Li, she on a different level. She's a good striker. Her wrestling has drastically improved. Defense wrestling, taken down. Her jiu-jitsu, her ground game has improved. So I'm very excited because Zhang Wei Li might be challenging my favorite women's UFC fighter of all time and one of my favorite UFC fighters of all time, and that is the current flyweight champion Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko. So the
Really?
rumors is that Zhang Wei Li might be moving up a weight class, move up that 10 pounds to fight
What?
Valentina. So awesome, bro. Pay-per-views have a different sort of energy, y'all. And this one was in Australia, and that crowd went crazy. So
Damn.
we might need to plan that UFC MSD UFC trip.
Yes.
Um, but
Yes.
I
Live
will
stream.
say
Live
we,
stream.
we we actually got a UFC card coming out Saturday.
Oh,
Okay.
So
coming this Saturday?
this Saturday,
Oh, wow.
it's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. For the preliminary card, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern for the main card. So 3 p.m. Western for undercard, 6 p.m. Western for main card. You got the former flyweight champion, Henry Cejudo, who's also a gold medalist in wrestling. He's taking on the youngin, but also really skilled Song Yadong. So that's the main event.
Song.
It's a good matchup actually. So Henry Cejudo's getting older now, but he was the champion for a hot minute. He dethroned Demetrius Johnson, the greatest flyweight of all time,
Mm.
during his run. So that's a good one to watch out for. It's a nice main event. There's some good fights on the card, and I'm gonna just tell y'all the one that you really need to circle, which is the second fight on the main card. John Silva. This guy, John
Ooh.
Silva, is a youngin, bro. This boy ran through some dudes that he fought. Right, he had some good performances, so I'll circle him and say watch out for John Silva's performances because that boy been on a tear lately.
Do we have any little couple dollars that you want to put on some of these guys that are coming up? Are you thinking Silva's your guy, or is there, you know what I mean? You got two
Yeah,
guys that you kind of
Silva's gonna be a big favorite. So Silva's gonna be if you have like a little parlay you want to run because Silva's a 5 to 1, a minus 500. What we're looking at. I
right?
will say if I'm looking at any like plus money on the card is gonna be Henry Cejudo because Song Yadong is minus 265. Henry Cejudo's coming in at plus 215. I know they're looking at Cejudo's age, 38 years old. He's been around. He's coming off two losses. His two losses were to both consecutive champions. Aljamain
Mm.
Sterling was the champion when he lost, and then he fought Marab Dvalishvili, who's the current champion, who's an absolute machine. Had good
Mm.
fights against both of them. Split decision loss, and then a decision loss, won one round, lost the other two. I'm saying if you want to make a little money tonight, I would say I put in a light little 50 on Cejudo if you want, if you
Oh.
got a couple bucks to spare, because that's not a bad payout, bro. It would be you'll make $100 off that.
Okay.
You get paid $50 will pay back like 110, 160. So you make like 110. That would be the one spicy lock on the card that I like. I like plus money on Cejudo for this card, y'all. So
Nice.
it's fun.
Big
We
money.
could.
I like it.
I will say, I know maybe y'all have heard this name because I feel like this guy in UFC has been the biggest in the media that I've seen. He's developed a huge personality. He don't even be speaking English. His name Alex Pereira.
Pereira. Yes.
Shama. Yeah, the light heavyweight champion. He's coming up in a pay-per-view soon. So y'all gonna have to watch some highlights, and we're gonna come back in a future episode, and we're gonna do a little preview for that UFC 313 card, because that's the next pay-per-view that we got coming. So I'm gonna have to give y'all a little homework assignment. I know this ain't college, and I know, but it's a little certificate class, because if y'all wanna come to Michael John's Octagon, you're gonna have to do a little bit of studying, because y'all gonna enjoy it. Y'all gonna have fun doing it. So
I'm down. I mean, I'm looking at the card. I'm looking at that card with Pereira. Justin Gaethje. How do you say his name? I recognize him, and I also recognize Curtis Blades.
Yep.
So some few names that I'm like, oh, okay, I remember.
Yep.
A few of them. So it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have some good ones that night.
Nice.
Right.
I like
love
that.
It. I love it.
Nice, guys. Whew. Shoo.
It's fun talking about some new sports with y'all, huh? Because I feel like, we gonna come back to y'all. Y'all know we'll be back with some NBA. Y'all know we gonna be always be coming with the NFL. Y'all know GM Sam ain't never gonna leave the MLB. He'll never abandon them.
Never.
So it's been nice to kind of hit some of them topics that we ain't hit, because this is a sports platform.
Exactly.
So hey, who knows? Cornhole League might be starting up soon too.
Yeah. Cornhole. What'd you say? What'd you say before? Like table tennis. I mean, the Olympics. I mean, anything. Asian Games. I mean, esports. Come on, let's get it. We sports. Let's get it. We gonna go every sector on this. I like this.
MSD baby. You
know
what it is.
Yep. You already know.
All right. Well, you know what I want to say with some parting words, if y'all will
let's get it. Yes, sir.
Tomorrow I'm getting married.
Let's go!
Next episode of MSD, you're gonna have a married man. You're gonna have another married man in the podcast. So I just want to say, shout out to Zoe. Shout out to my family. Shout out to her family.
Mikey.
It's an exciting time, and I'm gonna look forward to enjoying the next few days. Yeah.
Listen. Yes, shout out to Michael John, for real. You know what I mean? One third of the greatest trio ever assembled. I can't believe my boy is getting married to the love of his life. I think he is a blessed man, and if all could be this lucky, then life would be swell. So shout out to you and Zoe. It's gonna be a great one. I'm really excited for y'all. I'm really happy for y'all. So it's definitely made my month for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mikey. Congrats. We love you. Wow, it's gonna be a party. You already know it's coming. It's gonna be a party. Let's go. Yes, sir. RCR Presents MSD Sports episode 19. You can find us at RCR MSD Sports. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Instagram. Check us out. My name is Sam at YBK up in here. We got Mikey, Bobby married tomorrow at Michael John DeStefano. And we got David Camden Lee at Mr. Club Paradise. And that was it, MSD Sports. And we gonna see you next time. Peace.
Let's go.